Why is it that even though the Earth spins at 1,000 miles an hour at the equator, goes around the sun at 66,000 miles per hour, which travels through the universe at 500,000 miles per hour, which is expanding at over 1,000,000 miles per hour, are we able to take a picture of the sky on the same day every year and never see changes in the stars, even for thousands of years?
So
Okay.
that's a question. I actually never knew that the claim is not only is the sun moving, the earth moving. I didn't know we're like spiraling through space, projecting forward. I didn't know all of that. Okay. So even to me, this came as a shock even to me. And so I can see why somebody can ask the question, hey, if everything is moving, not just the earth, not just the sun, not just if everything's spiraling around at 1,000,000 miles an hour or whatever he said through space, why aren't or why do we still see the same stars for the past several thousand years or as long as we can look back? Why aren't those stars out of place?
Yeah, just to be clear to your audience, I've never seen these video clips before, so I'm responding to them off the cuff. But as
Well,
an
you're doing a
astronomer,
great
I
job.
can tell
Yeah, I was
you
going to say you're doing a great job.
is that the stars really do change positions as we look at them at different times through our telescopes, but the changes are tiny because of how far away those stars are. And so as the Earth orbits about the sun, we're actually looking at these stars at a different angle at some parts of the orbit about the sun than we are the other. And so we're able to use those angles to actually determine the distances to the stars. And with long baseline radio interferometry, we can even extend that out to galaxies as far away as 470 million light years. But with the naked eye, you can't see the effect. The effect is just too tiny to see. But with a telescope, you can actually see the change. And to give you an idea of how tiny that change is, even for the nearest stars, the change in the sky is like a 1 arc second, and that would be 1/3600th of a degree. So to give you an idea, the moon is about 30 arc minutes across. And so we're seeing something that's 1/1800th of that angular change.
Hmm.
And that's just because of how far away these objects are. But we can clearly and accurately measure them through our telescopes, even to a degree that we can determine with precision the distance of radio galaxies hundreds of millions of light years away.
So things are changing, but they're so far away that even though we're blasting through space or whatnot, they're so far away that we can't notice the change ourselves with our own naked eye.
All that goes back to ancient cosmology. The Greeks and the Egyptians and the Assyrians were trying to determine the distances to stars, and so they're looking for the parallax effect, the fact that at one part of the orbit about the sun, we'd be looking at the stars from a different angle than another part. They couldn't see the angular difference, and that's why they concluded that the stars had to be extremely distant because they couldn't see it with the naked eye. Now, as soon as a telescope was invented, they were able to see the effect. And now that we got very powerful telescopes, we can take that effect out literally to hundreds of millions of light years. But yeah, you're not going to see with the naked eye, but it's quite noticeable through a telescope.
How
And
far?
that's how astronomers determine the distances to stars and galaxies. It's all based on that method, that fundamental method.
How far away is the closest star to us, I guess, outside of the sun?
4.2 light years. And yeah, there the effect, the parallax effect is actually bigger than an arc second, but still not detectable with a naked eye.
Got it. Okay, so it's
literally,
literally.
it's about 1 arc second.
So the answer to this guy's question here is that things are so far away that the amount of motion that we're in makes no difference to the naked eye.
To the naked eye, it doesn't.
Got it.
Matter of fact, we astronomers actually look at spiral galaxies where there's major radio sources in those galaxies. And these are sources that are orbiting about the center of the galaxy. And there we're talking at an orbital period that measures about 250 million years.
Oh, wow.
But they look at it over, say, a 40-year period, and they notice that the maser is moved. And so we can actually see that movement. and we can use that movement to determine the distance to that galaxy.
See, and this is why I give more grace now to the flat earth vote, because they're just looking at things and trying to come to a conclusion with the naked eye. Whereas you guys, astronomers and people that have answers to these questions, they've got the instruments and the technology to be able to give you reasons for why you're seeing and perceiving things the way you are.
Well,
See
that's
what I'm
what I
saying?
appreciated about the ancient astronomers. When they saw phenomena that looked mystifying or paradoxical, they would say, why? What are we missing? What are we not understanding?
Right.
And that's what these flat earth proponents need to do, is say, hey, are we looking at this from just one factor? Maybe there's a second factor affecting the image that we see.